Hi everyone, this is Crash Me Twice, and today we're going to continue with mounting our instrument display panel from WINWING. So I already started here and cut my profile, and I added two joints, 40-40 joints, pivot joints. And we're going to utilize from the MFD panel that back plate, because I don't think I need to make a new one if it's already something I can use for this mount, which I don't use for the MFD unit because A, I don't fly an airplane, and B, I don't have VR. So this is the second part of that joint. I marked the T for top. We install this, so to speak, in the Simpit like that, and then on here we're gonna install that panel, and that panel mounts to the display. So I will drill 3 holes in here so I can have a little bit of adjustability up and down. Mount this one to the panel like so. And I'm not going to mount it with multiple screws, so I can turn it if needed in a little bit of offset position. So that's the plan. I also made a little bolt because these holes, they seem a little bit small on the cutout, so I turned down the bolt on the outside a little bit to make sure it fits in here. Okay, so let's gonna go ahead and drill that plate. Then we're gonna make standoffs for the panel, because we have this coming out of here, and we're gonna go over that. So I'm gonna make the standoffs just a hair taller than that. That also will help then with the bolt down here, but that's not my main concern. So let's get this going here and drill that plate and make standoffs for that panel. Okay, here we have the drill press, and we're gonna drill our 3 holes. I have marked them up, and we're gonna pre-drill them, and then we'll drill them out for an M8 bolt. Let's see if we can get a jumper here going. Okay, I have a aluminum rod in here, 6061, and we're gonna make 4 standoffs. Get the center here, and then we're gonna drill a hole for a 5mm bolt. Alright, that should be enough here. Gonna run over the surface here a little bit and make this look a little better. And let's get this going. Let's get that out, get the parting tool in. Let's get our caliper. I'll take a quick measurement. Okay, now we have the last one in here. And here's our 4 spacers. Alrighty, let's go over to our assembly table and see how that works. We made our standoffs. The plate, we drilled the holes we wanted to. So this will go like that. And now this one will attach to here. However, all those pivot hinges have this little key so they don't move in a profile. So we don't want this on here. I could make a slot here to prevent this from tilting, but I actually want it to tilt because I'm going to tighten it up good enough. But if I bump accidentally into the panel, I want this to rotate rather than breaking something off. So we're going to file those 2 keys down, and then I can mount it in any of those positions. Alrighty. Okay, we have that pivot hinge part in the vise. Now I'm just going to file this down, all smooth and flat. Now I'm going to go over with a sanding sponge quick. We're ready to put that onto the panel. Alright, I'm here at the mill And I have to mill out the frame a little bit from that USB panel. It completely covers the Windows taskbar, and that's not what I want. So I'm losing screen space, maybe just a little bit, but I cannot see the taskbar if that frame is installed. So I'm gonna machine this out, and I'm gonna reduce it by about 3/16 to a quarter, and that should work. Okay, let's take it out very carefully. Then the bird. So, okay, so here's our panel now. And you can see it's definitely reduced in size. So let's try it. Let's go over to the assembly bench. Okay, here we are. I just snapped it over it. And as you can see, everything's fitting nicely. The little shiny part here is from the screen protector, which you can't see when it's on. Looks pretty good to me, so it's very thin. And I'll show you the panel how it comes, because I got a second one. And here's the panel how it originally works. You can see this part here and that part down here is much thicker, same as for the sides. So in comparison, I put both of them next to each other so you can see that. Let me get something to underlay here. A couple sanding sponges will do for right now, just so you can see the difference in the panels. Here you go. You can definitely see the difference. I mean, they're lined up now. So you can see it's much thicker here. Thinner where we machined it down. Same down here, just a little hair. So we machined less on this than on the top, obviously. And the width here and the width here also have changed. That's a lot less. If I plug now this panel in, as the original was, I have the machine running, you can see here the Windows bar on the bottom. So it's half covered. And if I put it now on top here, it's gone. You cannot even see it. So not perfect there. I mean, I had with Helios, here you can see how wide it is. It also is covered a little bit on the side. So if I move this, you can see the outer line you don't even see. Okay, that's 2 lines now. It barely shows. Alright, let's go over and unplug this one. And let's see this on our modify panel. Now you can see the Windows bar. Even if I shrink it down a little bit, let me get back down here into this panel. So even if I go down here a little bit, that's my normal Windows bar, so a small taskbar. And you can see the date up here. There's like, I would say probably 1 millimeter missing from that taskbar, but it's visible and it takes a much better screen space. And down here I can see it now fully. And if I move it from left to right, you can see the outer line on both sides. Not on the top, but you can see it on the bottom. Right now all the measurements are 100% and it works great. So I'm very happy with the outcome here. Okay, let's get this panel mounted. We have here a part of our pivot hinge. This is the aluminum panel from WINWING. And we're going to mount that one to this side here. I'm going to put a nut on that side. And tighten it up. Make sure it's kind of straight. Like so. Alright, now we're going to put that panel the back panel here, and we're gonna mount a screen to it. So let's gonna turn the panel around. That's the bottom part. Let's get our spacers on here. Put the panel on top. And we need some washers and our hex bolts. Make sure it's tight, but not over tight. We don't want to rip it out of the panel, but we do want to have it tight. Okay. And there's that. Make sure it's all lining up. All right. Over here. Okay, now we can go ahead and finish our mount up for that display and keep going. Mother Mikhail left me a nice little note last time, a nice little comment in the last video, and I'm gonna utilize his idea with the clamping mechanism for the rotating profile. So thank you very much for commenting and for making me aware of this. It sure makes that a whole lot easier. So I took that bar back out from the Simpit. This one here is the side on my right hand. So what I'm planning to do is here, take this part out, make a longer axle, like so, and then this will, because I have now a fixed position for this here, so I'm gonna drill through here all the way, and then this can go in here, like so, and then I will be using just a locking handle, which goes in the front here, to tighten that axle up, and that should work. So I don't have to make any complicated locking mechanism for it. I just use one of those handles. So I'm gonna try to get this axle back out, which we are put in with Loctite, and make a longer on this side. So first of all, I'm gonna mark which side I'm gonna do here, so I don't do the wrong one. So I'm gonna put this in the vise now, take this out, put that one in, and then we cut that longer off so it will go into the other part of the Simpit profile. Okay, so we're here at the vise now. Let's see if we can get that bolt back out. Got the big boy tool here, very large adjustable wrench. I think we're getting somewhere. But it just shows you how good Loctite is. This thing will not come out by itself. I'm going to investigate that bolt here and see if we have any aluminum sticking to it. Then we know we ruined our thread, but it looks okay. Yeah, it looks good. So I think we A-okay here. Now we're going to install our new bolt. Alright, so we got a bolt. Let's get some Loctite. I got a socket. Alright, here we are. And then we measure where we need to cut it, and this should all work then. Same procedure. This is our washer here, and let's see how deep we can go here. So we want to get this over to have it engaged throughout. We're going to drill all the way through here. And that's where we want to cut it. So now let's get this other part here set up here. It's going to put a little bit of a cutting fluid on that. Looking good here. We are through. Just perfect. Let's see if you can see this here. I don't think we have to do anything else here. Maybe run the file a little bit over. Let's go back to assembly bench, test it there, and then we mount this back into the Simpit and see how that works. Okay, back at the assembly table. So here's our new axle installed. This is the part we just drilled. It fits nicely. And now we can insert our handle here, our threaded handle. Tighten it up. Yeah, that will work. Okay, here with the Simpit and getting ready to install that instrument panel. I already installed the arm for that panel and the handle to lock it in place. So it's pretty simple. We're gonna just use that pivot hinge and put that in place. Let's lock this in place here. And here we have it. Now we can adjust it to the angle we want it, probably like this. Tighten it up. And now we have it. It's very secure. Perfect. Now if I want to hide it when I do my office work, probably gonna have to make a knob here as well. Maybe a combo handle knob situation. So it's like taking 3 or 4 of those movements, but now this panel can be hidden out of the way. And I can lock it in place, and I still have room for my legs and for my knees not hitting it. So I'm very pleased with that. It all works. Open it up, get that panel out, lock it in place, and we're good to go. So great little project. All I have to do now is route that cable below that arm and back to the Simric. Okay, now we're gonna fire up DCS and see how that panel works. So I'm gonna launch here the K50. Let's do an instant action here, free flight, just so we see the panel, and it should come on. And here it is. And I'm gonna make in the future here a button box below. And now our arbor is right here. And then this side should be working just fine. And on the other side, down the line, I'm gonna make some gauges. Mainly the descent and speed. So I'm very happy with it. Turns out really great. And that's it for today. So next time, I'm taking a closer look at the WINWING MFD1 and the inner workings of it. And that video is coming soon. So please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it. Don't forget to check out my Discord channel and visit my website at crashmetwice.com for more info on this and other projects. If you would like to support this channel, you can buy me a nice cup of coffee from the link below or on my website. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope I earned a like from you. Crash Me Twice, out.